Guess we'll start at the beginning. I want to talk a little bit about civil liberties, which is basically what this unit is about, civil liberties and civil rights. You can see the stuff on the page, but one of the big things I want to talk about here is the difference between civil liberties and civil rights. These civil liberties are protections against the government. Talk about civil rights in a second. And civil liberties are the things we get in the Bill of Rights. All right, these are civil liberties. And a lot of people would say, oh, those are civil rights, but they're not. All right, those first 10 amendments are civil liberties. Here, you can see the definitions, you can see the differences, civil liberties versus civil rights. And civil rights are positive acts of the government that try to make constitutional guarantees a reality. Civil liberties are more protections against the government. So looking at the Bill of Rights a little bit, they were put in place to protect us from the government. If you remember back to what we talked about, like with Brutus I, the Anti-Federalists were really worried about the government. They didn't want another Britain. So that's kind of why they wanted a Bill of Rights so bad. An important Bill of Rights case, Barron versus Baltimore in 1833. It was really the first time that we dealt with the states and the Bill of Rights. And Barron versus Baltimore said that the Bill of Rights doesn't really apply to the states. So think about that. What that's saying is that free religion, for example, the states wouldn't have to have free religion because the Bill of Rights, the federal Bill of Rights, doesn't apply to them. Can see the 14th Amendment here kind of changes this when it comes along. So basically what happens, there's two parts of this. Number one is due process, and two is equal protection, and we'll be talking about those a lot. But one of the big things it does is what happens in Gitlow versus New York, where the court comes in and says, hey, look, these are fundamental personal rights and liberties, and they have to be protected from the states as well as the federal government. So Gitlow really overrules Barron versus Baltimore. You can see the difference there. And what Gitlow did was start the process that we call incorporation, where we take the things from the Bill of Rights and apply them to the states. And we'll see that process throughout our talk here on civil liberties. So what's important to remember here with incorporation is that we did this piece by piece. So Supreme Court decision by Supreme Court decision, we apply that Bill of Rights to the states, and that's incorporation. Thank you very much.